Very good afternoon, dear students. This is Professor Anand Badge here. Welcome back to the engineering graphics class. You are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
So today I'm going to start with the new topic, that is isometric projections. So till now, whatever we have studied, it is with respect to orthographic projection. So orthographic projection means you know that the projection is perpendicular to the plane of projector. So it means in orthographic projections, you are always supposed to get the true length of the object. So if the object is 40 by 40, and if you project it onto the screen, you should get 40 by 40 on the screen. So that is basically orthographic projection, where you get the true length of the object. But the disadvantage in orthographic projection is that, for example, if you take projection of solids example, to see the final shape, how the solid is placed in vertical plane or horizontal plane, we have to use three different positions: first position, second position, and third position, so that I can get the final view of the object. So to get one view, I have to do three different projections. Now what if I can see the complete solid object in one single view? So is it possible, if I take a object, if I want to see it in complete one single view, then can I draw it? Yes, that is possible through using isometric drawing. So isometric drawing means you are going to place an object in such a way that in one single view you can see all the aspects of the object, that is front view, top view, and side view. All the views can be seen in one single view. So let us see what this is. Okay, so isometric projections. So it is a type of pictorial projection in which all the three dimensions of an object are shown in one view, and if required, their actual size can be measured directly from it. So the typical condition is that all the three-dimensional axes are maintained at an equal inclination of 120 degrees. What happens in orthographic projection is all the three axes are perpendicular to one another, means they are at 90 degrees to one another. But in orthographic projection, all the three axes will be 120 degrees inclined to each other. The axis will be at 120 degrees inclined to each other. So you can see here how it is. So 3D drawings can be drawn in numerous way. So you can see in this position, this is one axis H, another axis L, and another axis D. So these are placed in such a way that the angle between each of the axes is 120 degree. So when you place it in this manner, you can see the object, complete object in one single view. See here, I can see the front view, I can see its side view, and I can also see its top view, which is not possible in orthographic projection. So to see the complete object in one single view, we have to take the help of isometric projections. So same thing with different examples over here. So you can see here, if you look onto the right hand side of the slide, each inclination among HLD axis is 120 degrees inclined with other, and hence it is called isometric drawing. So this HLD, so angle between D and L is 120, H and L is 120, H and D is also 120. So I can see the complete object in one single view. So that is the isometric drawing. So the purpose of the isometric drawing is to understand overall shape, size, and appearance of an object prior to its production. So if you want to go with respect to production of an object, you should know how the object looks like completely. So to understand how it looks like with respect to size and appearance, we need the help of isometric drawing. Okay, now try to understand few important terms which are used in isometric drawing. The three terms are isometric axis, isometric lines, and isometric plane. So what are these terms? Let us try to see here. So the three lines here, AL, AD, and AH. These three lines what you are seeing, these are called isometric axis. AH is one axis, AL and AD, and these axes are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. So that is first thing, isometric axis. Now coming to isometric lines. So the lines parallel to these axes, if I take AH axis, so the line parallel to this axis, this one. If I take DA, then the line parallel to this, that is this line. And if you take AL, the line parallel to this is this. So you can see that all the lines are parallel to at least any one of the plane. So these lines are called isometric lines. So the lines parallel to these axes are called isometric lines. And the planes representing the face of the cube, for example ADH, and if I say this corner as B, then AHBD is one face of the cube. So this is called isometric plane. So one of the planes of the isometric. So isometric will be usually having three planes. So if you look here, DAL, this view what you are seeing, this is the top plane of the isometric, correct? This is the top plane. AHL, this is the right plane of the isometric, right side plane. Then ADH, this is the left plane of the isometric. So usually it will be having three planes, top plane, right plane and left plane. So I hope you understood the three different planes, isometric axis and isometric lines. So these three terminology is important as we are going to use them while using the drawings. Now coming to important thing, isometric scale. Okay, so just imagine you have this cube in such a way that, let us say this AHL, this plane is parallel to the screen of the monitor. So if it is parallel, then it is called orthographic projection, correct? Now, instead of being parallel, this AHL is not parallel over here, correct? So when it is parallel, you can see the true length of the object. When it is not parallel, obviously you will see what apparent length of the object. So this apparent length will be obviously less than the true length, right? So that length difference is called as isometric scale. So in short, if I want to tell you, if the axes are perpendicular to one another, that is 90 degrees to one another, then whatever length you are going to get, obviously it will be true length. Now, if the axes are not perpendicular, in this case, the axes are inclined at 120 degrees to each other. So obviously you are not going to get the true length. The length of the object will be somewhat reduced. By how much amount it will be reduced, that is what we have to see. So I'll explain you that isometric scale with this drawing here. So just have a look here. I have one axis AB, right? And along this, I have drawn one line. First, let us come to this thin line. The thin line which is inclined at 45 degrees. Inclination is 45 degree. So if I mark 2 units on this line from the x-axis, from here if I mark 2 units on this line from x-axis, and if I plot it back to y-axis, obviously again I will be having here 2 units only, because this angle is inclined at 45. So when it is at 45, whatever length you are going to get on x-axis, same length you are going to measure it on y-axis also, correct? So that is orthographic projection. But in isometric drawings, what happens, if you look into this object here, if the angle between these two is 120 degree, so if I draw an imaginary line here, at this line I'm talking, if you see the mouse moving here, and if I draw an horizontal line, imaginary line here, so the angle between this horizontal line and this line would be 30 degrees, 30, 30 degree. So that line I will take here. If I draw a 30 degree line here, you can see the dark line here, which is 30 degree. And if I measure the same length, which is at 2 here, if I mark a point 2, if I take 2 units on x-axis, and if I project it back to y-axis, obviously the length will not be same because it is 30 degree. Henceforth, the length will not be same. It is going to reduce by some particular length. So that length we are calling it here as isometric scale. Okay. So this line 30 degree, from here this is 2. If I plot 2 units from x-axis, and if I project it back onto the y-axis, on the y-axis I am not going to get 2 units. It will be less than 2 units. So that less measurement is actually the isometric scale. So now the question is, by how much it reduces? By what percentage it reduces? So that is the reduction is 0.815 or 9 bar 11 approximately. So that is what the isometric scale will measure. I mean to say, if you take orthographic projection, the normal grid sheet, if you take, 1 unit will be equal to 10 centimeter, right? Sorry, 10 millimeter. 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter. But in isometric scale, 1 centimeter will be equals to 8.164 millimeter, because the scale will be reduced here. That is what has been stated here. The reduction is 0.815, which is approximately to 9 bar 11. It forms a reducing scale which is used to draw isometric drawing and is called isometric scale. So you will get more clear idea about it once I go to uh, explaining the problem. So for time being, you remember that in isometric, 1 unit is equal to 8.164 millimeter. Please make a note of it somewhere. 1 unit is 8.164 millimeter in isometric. Okay. Any doubts in this part, in the introduction part, which you would like to clarify? No doubts. Okay, good then. So what I will do is I will directly take you to the AutoCAD now, and I will try to explain you how to draw this isometric geometries in isometric sheet. So okay, so are you able to see the AutoCAD software screen now? Right,
No, sir.
it's not visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. Right. So now look here, the sheet what you are seeing here, which is in blue color, this is actually your isometric grid sheet, which is different from your normal grid sheet, right? So why the grid sheet is like this? Let us try to understand that. So your normal grid sheet, what you get would be something like this. So polygon. Okay. So the normal drawing, the normal grid sheets, what you have, it is something like this, which is 1 unit. And if you measure this, obviously one side will be 10 millimeters. This is how you normally get it. In this scenario, these two lines are perpendicular to each other. That is why you are getting the true length of the object. But same thing, if you compare with this isometric grid sheet, these lines are not perpendicular to one another. So as I stated you, the axis of all the three will be 120 degrees to each other. So if I simply show it here on this sheet, the isometric axis which I explained you previously. So this is how the isometric axis will be, correct. So these three are the isometric axis. The angle between each of them is 120 degrees. If you measure this angle, each angle will be 120 degrees to one another, right? So whenever the lines are inclined, then obviously the scale will reduce. So that scale will reduce by this much factor. So I'll show you how much the length will get reduced. So if you take and measure this, so you can see this is 8.164 mm. So in normal scale, 1 unit is 10 mm, but in isometric, it is what? 8.164 mm. So all the four sides, this side, this side, this side, and this side. So these all the four sides will be of 8.164 millimeter. So this sheet is called your isometric sheet, and the scale what we are following is isometric scale here. Okay. Any clarifications in this? Okay, fine. So now let us, before going to the problem, let me show you how to draw different geometries or different planes in isometric. For example, if you take a cube, right? So the faces of the cube will be square. So if you know how to draw square in isometric, it means that you can draw a cube out of it. If you know how to draw a square, you can draw a cube, you can draw a square prism, you can draw a square pyramid also, because the basic geometry there is a square. So what we'll do is, first we'll try to learn how to draw different geometries in isometric, and then we'll start with the problem. So today's class, let me just show you how to draw different entities in isometric in different planes. So first let me start with a simple object, that is a square. So let us say I want to draw a square of 40 sides. So in actual scale, the square would look something like this. This is 40 square, but I want to draw this on the isometric sheet. So now I have already told you that this sheet is already reduced to isometric scale. Okay, what I mean to say is that if you draw 40 here, one unit is 10 but here one unit is 8.164 so it is already reduced to the isometric scale. No need to convert this dimension over here. Okay, so what I will do is I'll take a line command. So if I want to draw a 40 square in this isometric sheet, I'll start with any one of points. Let us say I will start from here. Okay, so 40 means I need to go 4 units from here. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 units. So this line what you are seeing here, this is 40 in isometric. Okay, getting the point? This line, if you just count the number of units, it becomes automatically 40 in what? Isometric, because the sheet is already reduced to isoscale. So this is one side of the square. Second side of the square will go along this line. Third side of the square along this line. And last one will come back and rejoin here. So you can observe that I'm going along the lines only. You are not going to go horizontal or vertical. So this is 40. So for starting from here, here to here is 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit. So that is why this is 40. Then this side also,
Sir,
yeah.
how did you get the isometric sheet, sir, in the software?
In the software, it is not available actually. This I have drawn it manually. So in the software, it is actually not available. And this method, what I'm teaching, this is how to draw isometric in manual method. In system to do it, we have different method. So whatever I'm teaching in first two classes today and Monday, it is only manual sketching. Okay. So first we'll learn only
Okay,
manual sketching, then we'll go to software, right?
okay,
So
sir.
in your assignment book and your classwork book, you already have this kind of sheet. So this sheet, how to draw it manually, I'm explaining here, right? So in the manual, you'll just count 4 numbers, draw 40, 40, 40, 40. So this becomes the square. Now I have told you about there are 3 planes in isometric. They are right plane, left plane, and top plane. So can anyone tell me in which plane I have drawn right now? This is which plane?
Top plane.
Top plane.
This is the top plane of the isometric.
Top.
Now, if I want to draw this on the right plane or left plane, then how will I draw it? So just have a look. So line command. So from here, let us say I want to draw it on the right plane. First go 40 base. Then from here you will go vertically 40 straight. So when I say vertically 40 straight, please observe here from this point to this point, from here to here, this point is 1 unit. From here to here, it is second unit, third unit, fourth unit. Because if you measure these lines vertically also it is 8.164 So henceforth I am going vertically straight along the lines, along the straight lines. So from here to here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 40 vertical. Then again line command. From this side I have to come 40 this side, and from here I have to go 40 vertical down. Okay, I went one extra here. So line from here I will come 1, 2, 3, 4 vertically this side, and from here vertically down. So now it is on the right plane of the isometric. So you can see that its face is on the right hand side. So this is right plane of the isometric. Now let us see how to draw it in left plane. So when I say left plane, from here I will go 40 vertical above. Then I will go on the left hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, left hand side. And then from here 40 down vertical again, and from here I will join it back. So this is the left side of the isometric plane. So you can see here I have drawn the square in all the three different plane. This is top plane, this is right plane, and this is left plane. This is what you are supposed to follow in your manual sketch. So this whatever I'm doing in system, same thing you have to do it in your book using manual sketching. Okay, so 40 top, 40 right, 40 left. Any doubts in this? Okay, so I hope you understood how to draw it in all the three different planes. Okay, so before you start with the problem, it is mandatory for every one of you that you need to practice these things in your assignment book. So the recorded video, I'll be posting it in the group. You can go through it and practice it. Okay, so now this is square. So it was simple to draw. It is done. Now let us see what happens if I want to draw the objects which are having odd number of corners. For example, let us say if I want to draw uh, a triangle, a pentagon. So if the corners are not four exactly, if you have four corners, it is very easy to draw. One side, two side, three side, four side, that is done. But if it has less than or greater than four corners, then you cannot directly draw it in this manner in isometric. So for that, you have to use a different method. So let us try to see how to draw a triangle and a pentagon using isometric. So let us try to see that. Okay. So first, before you draw this triangle or pentagon in isometric, it is mandatory that you have to draw it to the true length with orthographic projection. So first you have to draw it to its true length. So I'll draw a polygon here. I'm going to draw an equilateral triangle of 40 mm sides. Okay, 40. So this is a triangle, equilateral triangle, and each side is 40 mm. Now this triangle, I want to draw it in isometric, but the problem is that the triangle I cannot directly draw it in isometric as I did square. So what I need to do is I need to enclose this triangle in a smallest possible box. So what I'll do, I'll take a line command from here to here. I will enclose this triangle in this box. So what I've done is I've enclosed this triangle in a smallest possible box in this manner. Now I will measure the dimensions of this box first, linear. So this will be obviously 40 and the other side is 34.641. So this is the dimension of the box. So this box I'm going to construct in isometric first. Then I'm going to locate the corners of the triangle within that box. So this is what I'm going to do now. So one side is 40 and the side is 34.641. Now when you come to isometric sheet, I'll take a line command. Let us say I want to draw this triangle in the top view first. So I'll go from here. Now this 40 mm, either you can take it on this side or you can take it on other side also. I'll explain you what that means. So 30, 40, right? So one side of the box is 40 mm here, so which I have drawn here now. The other side of the box is 34.641. Now the question arises is, I'm easily able to identify 1 unit or exactly zero point 0.5, which I can easily identify. But how can I draw something with decimal like 0.641 or 0.6, 0.7? It is very difficult to draw in isometric sheet. So in isometric sheet, what we are going to do is we are going to round up the value to the next near value. So isometric drawings, whatever we are doing are approximate measurements. So here we cannot draw 34.3 or 35.7 or 34.8 in manual drawing. So what I'm teaching is the manual drawing. So it is very difficult for us to maintain these kind of lengths. So what I will do, this 34.6, I will make it as 35. I will round up this value to the next higher value. So from here, so this is 1 unit, 2 unit, 3, 30, 35 means mid of this line. So this is the midpoint. So till here it will become 35. Okay. So from here, if you see 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, midpoint 35. So I have 40 this and this is 35. So parallel to 40, I should get one more 40 line here. So same thing I will do. From here, I will draw now 40. Along the same line you have to go 1, 2, 3 and 4 and then back to the starting point. So now you can see that I have drawn a box of 40 by 35. This is 40 and this is 35, 40, 35. The box which I had constructed across the triangle. You can, if you want, you can draw 35 this side, 40 this side also. That is fine. So you can take either 40 or 35 this side or you can exchange them. That is absolutely fine, not a problem. So now let me construct these points within this isometric. So if you look here, let us say this is corner A, this is corner B and corner C. Uh, if I want, I will just name it so that it becomes clear. So this is A, this is corner B and this is corner C. Okay. Now look here, corner A and B are at the corner of the line 40 mm. So this is the 40 line here. So this corner and this corner I'm going to take it as A. Now corner C is exactly at the midpoint of 40 line, which is opposite to A and B. So if I name them here, so this would be A, this would be B, which I already have. So C would be exactly here. Correct? So this is A, this is B, and C would be exactly opposite at the center of this line. So as you can see, 40 center is this. So now I have located all the 3 points on the isometric. So I'm just going to join all the lines. So line, this is corner A, corner B, C is exactly at the center of this line. So that is at 20. So this is totally is 40. So 1, 2. This is the center. C and back to A. Okay, got it. This is how a triangle will be constructed in isometric. A triangle cannot be directly drawn like a square. So you are going to enclose that triangle within a smallest possible box, and that box dimension you are going to construct in isometric, and within that you are going to locate the points of A, B and C. So same thing, if you want to do it on the left or right plane, you can do it very easily. So I'll take 40, then 35 would be here in the center, 35 line. So this side it is 40. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So approximately center would be here. So I will take over here. So this is 35. Okay. Then from this side again 40. So from here, now look here, when you are coming this side 40 here on this side, you need to count from center to center of the box. So I want to come down here. So from this side, this center, this is 1. From here to here it is 2. From here to it is 3. And from here to here it is 4. So where right now where the pointer is, that becomes the center of that box becomes the 40 Either you can do this or you can draw a line from here itself for 35, from here 10, 20, 30, 35, and then you can join it from this side. That also you can do. So here and then join it back. So this method also you can follow. Just you have to make sure this is 40, this is 35, this is 40, and this is 35. So here inside you can construct the triangle. So this is A, this is B, center of this line would be C, and back to A. So this is the triangle on the right hand side plane. Same thing you can do with respect to left side plane also. Okay. So did you understand this? Any doubts here in this? Any clarifications? Okay. So it means that I'm good to go for the next one. So next I will show you how to draw the pentagon within this. Square we already seen, triangle I have seen. Pentagon will be similar to the triangle. If you just look into this, you will understand. So first we will draw the pentagon to its true length. So first you have to draw pentagon to its true length on the normal graph sheet. So this you have to do it on the normal graph sheet. Then you have to enclose this within a smallest possible box, this pentagon, so that you can get a square. Okay, so you can see that I've enclosed it within a smallest possible box. Right. So once it is enclosed, I need to find out what is the box dimension here. So the box dimensions would be 48 point some change, and this would be 45.999. Let me reduce the number of units so that it becomes easy for me to the construction, because in manual sketch you will be taking maximum 1 decimal point. 3 decimal point you won't be able to measure. So I'm changing it to single decimal. So you can see here one box is 48.5, another box is 46. So this box I need to construct over here to draw the lines. So let me show it here, the same pentagon. Before that, I'll just name it quickly so that I can measure the other distances. This is A, B, C, D, and E. Okay. So I marked these points. So first I need to construct this box. Within that I should draw the elements. So for that I need the measurements A to B. A to B, you know that it is 30 mm because edge length is given as 30 mm. So I need what is the distance from corner A to this side, that is 9.6. Then I need what is the distance from this to point C, that is 28.5, and this D is obviously at the center of this 48.5. So with these dimensions I can draw it in isometric. So I'll take a line command. So I'll take 48.5 on this side. So you need to count the units, as I told you again, 48.5. So 48.5 you cannot mark here in isometric. So you'll take it as 50, because to mark 48 is difficult. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one side 50, another side is 46. So 46 is difficult to mark. I'll take it as 45 center. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the center is this 45. So again I will come this side, other side, and then other side. So I constructed this box now. So this box is 50 by 45, because 48.5 I cannot construct here. That measurement would be very difficult. So I have taken the higher value as 50, and this is 46. So instead of 46, I have taken it as 45. You can approximate to the next nearer value. So if I make it as 50, it will become too large. 4 mm extra will be there. So that is why I round down it to 45. So on this side of the line, I have A and B. So A is at a distance of 9.6 mm. If you see here, A is at a distance of 9.6 mm from this corner, and B is also at the same distance of 9.6 from this corner. Yeah. Okay. So line. So instead of 9.6, I'll take 9.5 because that will be easy for measurement. So if I go from here, 9.6 is nothing but 10 only, 9.5 also I cannot mark. So from here to here, this is 10, that is 1 unit. from here to here, this is 10. And similarly, from here to here, that is 10. So I'll mark these points as A and B here. So this is A and this is B. So from this corner to here, this is A, and from this corner to here, it is B. So now I require C distance. So C is 28.5, which I will take it as 30 for easy construction. And C will come on this line because AB is here. So she should come here, D will be here, and E will be here. So I will take 30 mm from this side. So 10, 20, 30. 30 would be here. So this point I will have C. Then D will be at this line, which is at the middle. Here this is D. Okay. Then next here you will take a line parallel to this. This point would be E, because you know that C and E will be on the same projection line, and this would be A, B, and join it back. So that becomes your pentagon in isometric. Look here carefully. From here, this corner to this side is 10 mm, which is A. From this side to this side is 10 mm, which is B. From here to here at a 30 mm, this point is C. Then same from here to here 30 mm, this point is E, and D is at the center of this line, which is this point. So henceforth, you will get the pentagon in this manner. So this point is C, this point is D, and this point is E. Got it? Same thing, if you want, you can do it on the right plane and left plane also. Any doubts in this here? Any clarifications? No?
No, sir.
Okay. So I'm left out with,
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
sir, if we have simple graph, how will we do this? We
What?
don't have the sheets. We don't have these sheets, isometric sheets.
Oh, you don't have the sheets? Okay.
Sir, we have not brought.
Let us do
any,
one thing. I am left out with 1 minute of meeting time. This will get closed. I'll send you one more link in another 5 minutes. Please use that link and rejoin the class, okay? I will post the link on your WhatsApp group now. Use that link and rejoin the meeting. So time is 2:38 now. At 2:45, we'll start the session again. At 2:45, we'll start the meeting again. So I'll send you that link. There I'll clarify your doubt. Okay?
Sir, should everybody join in, sir?
Yeah, obviously it's a class, no?